Hey guys, welcome back to JE Music. And this is James. This is James's channel.
Hey James.
No, your channel.
Okay.
I'm the guest. I'm just sitting here. While James does whatever he's doing today.
Yeah. So, we're going to cover my newest album, Dealing with Death. Because in my previous video, I did a breakdown of all my albums, but I didn't talk about Reflection or Dealing with Death.
You talked about Reflection.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now we're talking about Dealing with Death. Which is, honestly, it's kind of hard for me to do because Dealing with Death and Reflection are both really, well, I wouldn't say really good because it's myself.
They are.
But they're better Deep Wire albums. And I just don't know which one is better. Maybe my newest one because of the way it flows together. But there is some bangers in Reflection, I know, and it has 69 views. But yeah. So basically, the album has a total of. Do you remember how many songs it's got? I kind of just
11.
Okay, 11 songs. It was originally meant to be an EP called The Bright Blue Sky, but then I made like an extra song and realised it went for like 20 minutes, and I was like, fuck, let's make it longer,
That's cool.
and it turned into like an album. And then the album cover changed as well, so the one that was previously meant to be an EP will probably be my next EP cover, but with a different name. So it goes for 33 minutes. It's got a total of 3 features in it, and one's a sample. Well, 2 of them are a sample, 3 of them are a sample, and one's a feature. But yeah. So I sampled Colours by You.
Yeah.
I also sampled and
Forgive Me.
Forgive Me.
Which was really cool.
In the
I was
song-
like, oh wow.
In the song Forgive Me, what was it called? Forgive Me for What I've Done. It kind of has his instrumental, but it has my thing over the top.
Yeah.
And then it cuts out of his song and goes into my instrumental. And then from then on, everything is instrumental. So this album is like half instrumental.
It's really cool. It reminded me of Heroes with David Bowie because he just like, his voice leaves the album by the end.
And
But,
yeah,
it's cool.
I reckon probably the best instrumental song is the last one, Float
Yeah.
Above the Rest.
That's the best final song you've ever made. It's actually awesome.
It's like a better version of Motivation, I reckon.
It's probably one of my favourite songs of yours.
And the intro song is usually my worst song of an album. I don't know why it always works like that for me. The intro song just like ends up being the worst.
I don't think so.
But
Last song,
Starts pretty
I'm
cool.
Dying is pretty cool.
Start's pretty cool because it's got like Mozart that I play, which I'm allowed to do. And then another thing over here. And this album was entirely made mainly like at my school studio, except I used MIDI keyboards sometimes for like the intro track and a few others.
Yeah.
Most of it is real instruments. Some for my previous album, some of it was real instruments, and then some was like Ableton, like MIDI instruments, not real, whatever. But either way, I reckon it has my best song on here. I Don't Want to Die is probably my favourite song that I've made, I reckon.
I think Living Legacy.
Living
That's
Legacy.
my favourite song of yours.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
It was really good.
But yeah, I'm not going to go over the meaning behind this album entirely, mainly because it's a true story. There's no characters in this album. So yeah.
Yeah.
Like my previous album there, I brought back a character. This is all true, so if I get into it, it'll just be too dark and like depressing a video. So you can pretty much tell by the song. If you want to know the meaning of this album, just listen to the lyrics. And it has the meaning in them. There's no hidden meaning, it's just what I say is what the album is about. And the title of the album. But yeah, there's some track. The main reason I made it instrumental in the last half is because I had all these tracks I was making and I was listening to them and I was just like really enjoying them as is, and I'm like, I don't know if I should add vocals. So I just kind of kept them as instrumentals. I thought it sounded better. So later on I might end up grabbing those and like adding effects to them and actually putting vocals on them, maybe if like a future single or something. But I'll see. So what are your thoughts on like it?
What about it?
What would you say is the worst song, and what would you say is the best?
Well, Living Legacy is the best song, I think. And
Yeah.
the last song.
Yeah.
Which is called Float Above the Rest, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a worse song.
But
So
like,
I
what
guess,
is
I guess I'll
the-
just say the intro, I guess.
Start, yeah.
But even though that's good, so.
Yeah. And since as we're here, like, would you say it's a huge step of a reflection, or would you say it's kind of similar? Because to me, this album is like very similar
This
to
is
Reflection,
like- yeah.
but with instrumentals.
This is like Reflection, but darker, pretty much. It's like
Yeah.
Reflection Part 2, like, I don't know.
Will you say
It's really cool.
better?
Like, probably this much, honestly. I was like,
Somehow it's a bit
Yeah.
better,
so I guess this is my favourite album of the year now.
Every album I make just becomes...
Yeah, it just gets better and better.
But, yeah, Dealing with Death is probably... It's probably my best, I reckon. But, I also made a lot of singles which were random stuff, which was going to be in this, but I'm glad I didn't put this in this because it would have ruined the flow of it.
Yeah.
And they made no sense in this album, so that's why I released them. Don't Look Me in the Eye is probably my favourite new single.
Yeah.
It's pretty trippy, pretty good with good speakers. Or Red / last week I saw Red double, like, what do you even call that? The double single? What do you call something like that? It's like two singles, but one song, just a single, I guess.
Yeah,
Just
I guess.
still a single. It's like Mr. Lonely / 911 by Tyler the
that's just
Creator.
one.
It's just one song, but it's like kind of two at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I've done that before a few times.
So this is like my 9th project. So, you know, I'm working on my 10th project already. And this is also, fun fact about this album, it's the album I spent the least time on. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I made this in like a day. Oh no, not a day. So all those songs with like guitar, drum, singing were previous recordings from the last week of school. But all the other songs were recorded in just like one day. So the album production and put together was all just one day of work. And then the cover. Plus, yeah, it's weird because I thought it would be worse because it was only one day, but it actually ended up being a bit better than Reflection. But it's actually only like 9 minutes shorter than Reflection, but it does feel a lot shorter.
Yeah.
I guess 9 minutes when you're just sitting there listening is quite a bit, I guess.
I don't think Reflection felt long though, because
Yeah.
I listened to that a few times.
It's probably one of the quickest 40-minute albums I've heard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard some like, yeah, it just has to be interesting to be like good, I guess. And then of course some of my new releases is Beach Volume 1 / 3 Deluxe Edition, which is pretty much just all the Beach volumes put together. But there's like, have you heard the new tracks of it?
No, yeah.
They're not super crazy
Are they at
because
the end of
they're at the end. The reason why they're not super crazy is just because they're songs I didn't use in Beach.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, and then I actually made 3 new ones as well towards the end, and stuff like that. And yeah, that album is honestly, it's weird because the Beach albums are probably some of my favorite albums, but they're also probably some of the boringest albums I've made because that's not what they're not made to be like sat and listened to as one listening. They're just made to be used for like films and like future projects and just like instrumentals, you know. They're not like just things that I like. There is some songs I like to listen to every once in a while, like piano. But yeah, Volume 1 is definitely my favourite because everything from then on is kind of sounds similar, so you get a bit bored of it, but because I use a lot, because there's not much classical instruments, and I don't know, I'm not the best classical music player, so my chords are very similar than the other ones. And mainly because the first one used like real piano and stuff, and real instruments. The other ones are kind of just like the BandLab ones and the Ableton, and then the third one was all FL Studio. But then bonus tracks I just made with real, some of it was real. And yes, that's like really that album. What do you think of the cover compared to the
I
album?
think it's really cool.
Yeah, but they should
The
be
first one's still the best, I think.
Yeah. What would you say is my best album cover? Since like here, we'll call this video talking about my new album and a chat.
I don't know, because
I have a lot.
let me have a look.
I'll look at them now.
I won't count singles or anything though.
Yeah, so I'll just go to playlist because I have one for
Yeah.
EP / album. Alright, so let's just rank them on the spot now. We'll just say let's just look for our worst and then go from there.
Worst one I get probably by default is just Beach Volume 3.
Yeah, because it's just two album covers smushed together.
I guess so.
But then again,
and then probably wait, scroll down. Probably Deep Light Mixtape just because it's
just a mixtape.
But yeah, it's still cool.
I would say my worst is. Oh no, you just keep going through this, I guess.
And probably Beach Volume 2, I think.
Yeah.
Then probably Deep Liar, then Kid on the Moon, Then Beach Volume 1. Dark Shadow, I don't know. Dark Shadow and then your two newest ones are probably the best ones. I think. Dark Shadow one's really cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I
can't rank
For me,
those.
my ranking's probably... I'm just going to check this record. Yeah, we're good, guys. Probably Deep Liar is probably my worst, just because I don't like it. And then probably after that, probably Beach Volume 3, because it's not like terrible, but it was kind of just the thing I pushed together because I thought it would be cool to have both sides of it. And then probably Volume 2, then a mixtape one, and then probably Dark Shadow, and that Volume 1, then Kid on the Moon, and then my two newest ones after that.
Yeah.
Probably Reflection is my favourite.
Yeah, that's probably, yeah.
Reflection.
Dark Shadow I think is really cool though.
Yeah. Dark Shadow is pretty cool. And then, so that's all the albums. And I got 9 singles now, guys, by the way. Because I'm also working on a reworked version at the moment.
Yeah.
Of my of Deep Liar. I'm reworking all my albums except Dark Shadow, but there will be a deluxe version of Dark Shadow where he'll make a song which is like, not Problems, I guess, because he doesn't like that song.
We'll just call it More Problems.
This is an album cover for the reworked version, by the way.
Oh, that's cool.
And then, yeah. So, alright guys, that's our random video. Goodbye.
See ya.